his Twitter soon, because I would like to talk to him myself and find out what his fuck. No one knows what it is. I'm gonna get his Twitter. I know the person that he's talking about. I know exactly who he's talking about. But here's another thing. All right, the Gamma guy that takes pictures for Gamma was literally there. COD Black Guys. Got him. The the guy who's the camera? Anybody know the camera guy for Gamma? What's his name? Anybody know the Gamma camera guy? Oh Jesus, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna find this. Is it Mike Martin? If his name's Mike Martin, then we know 100% Kossoff is lying. Because the fucking camera guy, if Mike Martin is the name of the camera guy, he literally was in my room and told me that he saw the whole thing and that it was an accident. He saw that it was an accident. No, his name's Eddie. Who the fuck is Mike Martin? That's not him. What the fuck is the Gamma guy's name? M.K. Martin. Yeah, I know him. And he was technically there too. I would find it very hard to believe that this dude would say I did it on purpose. I literally talked to him at the whole event. Well, I just followed both of them. I want to know the camera guy for Gamma. How the fuck do I even find this? His name is Callum. He's a good guy. He was there too. He literally seen the whole thing. Well, I can tell you this 100%, okay? I can tell you, if this is him, he's not from the UK, though. This guy's not from the UK. So that's not him. Eddie Gamma. I just searched Eddie Gamma. I got nothing. It's not Cliff. It's not Cliff. Cliff is the owner. Oh, this is making me so fucking mad. All right, well, listen. The two people that he said were there were actually there. If this is him right here, Eddie Gamma. Yep. All right, followed him. He hasn't tweeted since June of 2013. All right, well, I followed him too. All right, well, both those people that Kossoff said were there and that said that I poured it on her were actually there. I can attest to that, but I want to hear it from them.
And she was upset, and obviously anyone's first inclination when something like that happens, it's like he had to have done it on purpose. what's the chances that the one person he spills a drink on at that event is my girlfriend who was there for 20 seconds? So obviously I was pretty upset at that point, but nothing happened. We all went to bed, but I didn't tweet anything out. He didn't tweet anything out. There was no drama surrounded right when that happened, which is so funny that everything exploded, because even then, you know, the next morning I woke up, I was still extremely upset, and all I wanted to do was avoid Keemstar. Like, me and him, like, we'll go at each other all day long, you know, pretty much on Twitter, and, you know, we'll have little, you know, mini roast sessions and jokes at these events, stuff like that. And I'm the type of guy, you know.
Okay, this is the only recording of what took place. This is the only recording. If you haven't seen this yet, but this is the only recording of what took place with the actual so-called fight. So we'll just play this real quick, and then we'll go back to his video of lies.
Seriously, get the fuck out of here! No, I don't give a fuck what you're saying! Get the fuck out of here, talk to me later! I apologize to her and offered to buy her a drink. Come on. It was an accident.
Do you see? You see the Keemstar explaining that it was an apology, that, you know, it was an accident, that I apologized to her and I offered to buy her a drink. It's right there.
Seriously, get the fuck out of here! No, I don't give a fuck what you're saying! Get the fuck out of here, talk to me later! I apologize to her and offered to buy her a drink. Come on.
Now, this was the very end of it. This was the very end of it. This was the very end of it. This is after the so-called swing. Again, he says he took off my hat. Yeah, look at my hat. It's right there. It's not off.
Seriously, get the fuck out of here! No, I don't give a fuck what you're saying! Get the fuck out of here, talk to me later! I apologize to her and offered to buy her a drink. Come on. It was an accident.
Okay. You know what's funny, though? If you listen to the very end, somebody screams "Drum alert."
Seriously, get the fuck out of here! No, I don't give a fuck what you're saying! Get the fuck out of here, talk to me later! I apologize to her and offered to buy her a drink. Come on. It was an accident.
Drum alert! But, okay. Let's go back to his video of lies. You know what's crazy is I've talked to both of those people that he named in the video that were there, and they were there after that, all right, talking about the situation. Actually, I didn't talk to Black Ice about the situation, but I talked to the other guy about the situation in length, okay? And he never said, I saw you do it, you did it on purpose. He never said any of that stuff to me.
Come at me all day long. For me, Keemstar is someone that I mess with on Twitter because it's funny. And he messes with me, and then I respond back and roast his shit. And that, to me, I think that's absolutely hilarious. Insomar, as much as, you know, me and him have never been anything I would consider some, you know, a serious beef. Like, I don't hate Keemstar. For the most part, I think he's funny. You know, I like messing with him. I like seeing him try to dance around the stupid things he says, like I think most people do. I don't really watch his videos as much as I know a lot of people do. But, you know, for the most part, I have no hatred for Keemstar or anything like that. So, but, you know, we've had a couple run-ins more recently in the last couple weeks where I made him look pretty damn stupid on Twitter because, you know, he says some things without thinking, and, you know, obviously most of the time they're pretty against.
Okay, you can add another one to the lie factor because let's face it, okay? I literally told this dude that his team is a peasant team because they have they'll let anyone join, and they have fucking Biblical Reaper, who's literally failed at being a gaming entertainer, so now he just tags his videos in a certain way to make views. That's what the whole debate was. But yeah, you roasted me. You owned me on Twitter, and you made me look stupid. You made me look real stupid. Just add another one to the fucking lie list. Jesus Christ.
Common sense and really stupid. So I figured he was really mad at her or mad at me, and decided to, because I'm not at that bar, or, you know, or really hang out in the same groups as him. He doesn't really hang out with a group. He doesn't come to these events. He buys his own spectator pass and just kind of bounces around. So
I buy my own spectator pass. I have a fucking media pass. I don't have to buy a spectator pass. UMG gives me a media pass every event. I literally have a goddamn media pass. Do you want me to go fucking get it? Should we go get it? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Look at this spectator pass that I have right here. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this spectator pass I have. Look at it. Spectator pass. Keemstar literally buys a spectator pass. Just walks around. I have a media pass because I'm a YouTuber. And every event that I go to, I talk about UMG. I promote UMG. I report on what happens at UMG. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, I know it says 2004 because all the media passes say 2004. They didn't update them. They have not updated these. They all say 2004. You're not going to be able to find a fucking UMG media pass that says 2015. They don't exist. All of them still say 2014. But I go to these events, you know, and I make videos talking about the events. I promote the events. And as silly as this may sound, it is true that people literally go to these events to meet me. They do. And I know this because they tell me, man, I'm not really into COD, but I came here because I knew you were going to be here.
Socializing. But yeah, I figured he threw the drink on her. So the next morning, I called up Jeff and all the other people at UMG asking to have him banned. Not because of any other reason besides this is like the 10th incident he's had at these.
This is like the 10th incident. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th incident that I've had. The 10th. The 10th.
Lands. You guys have seen from a video I previously made, and he admitted to himself, he got into a fight with another team owner. He headbutted Keemstar.
I got into a fight with another team owner, and I headbutted Keemstar. Okay. Now here's the deal. I did get into a little scuffle with another team owner, but it wasn't a fight. Okay? Let's be clear, okay? A team owner known as Pittsburgh pushed me, all right? Or no, I pushed him, excuse me. I pushed him, and he swung at me, and I threw him on the ground, okay? That's not much of a fight. Not much of a fight. Check out this amazing fight that I was in. And the reason why I said, what are you going to do? The reason why I said, what are you going to do? Is because he said that I need to step off like he was going to fucking swing or do something at me. All right, this guy stole from me. All right. So I was a little upset. And again, this isn't at the event. This is outside, like far away from the event. This is somewhere else. I threw the dude on the ground. I didn't hit him. Yes, my butt did crack. My butt crack did show. I'm literally saying I could hit you, but I won't. I'm literally saying I could hit you, but you won't. Banks is right there. That's your boy Banks. You want to watch it again? Because I know you want to see my butt.
What are you going to do? What are you doing? Seriously. What are you going to do? Are you going to lie to me? You fucking lie to me? Are you going to lie to me? Are you going to lie to me? Are you going to lie to me? Come on, pick a
So yes, this event did take place. Yes, I did throw a guy in the ground that tried to swing at me. Yes, it's true. But did I swing back? Fucking no. No, I didn't swing back. I didn't swing at this dude. All right? People were saying that this dude is a kid. This dude is 20 years old. 20, 21. I think he's 21. This dude's like 21 years old. And here's the deal. I was upset. This dude stole from me. He kept saying, like, what are you going to do about it, right? And I did push him because I was angry, all right? But he swung at me, all right? He swung at me. I had a right to throw him on the ground. And listen, dude, like, if you watch this again, I could have hit this dude so many times.
Dude, seriously. What are you going to do? Are you going to lie to me? You fucking lie to me? Are you going to lie to me? Are you going to lie to me?
I have him on the ground, and then, I don't know if you saw that right there, but I pulled his shirt over his head so he was blind. I could have dotted him so many times, okay? But I didn't. I didn't. There was no fight. A guy literally swung at me, and I put him on the ground and put his shirt over his head. That's it. So the other thing that Kossoff is talking about is about how I headbutted Clayster. Okay? And I don't know if you guys know about this situation, but this happened through two events. Okay? One event was, I believe, UMG Nashville. No? One event was, yes, it was UMG Nashville. We went to the bar late when we first got there, and I think it was Nashville. It could have been somewhere else. I don't remember. These events are getting mixed up in my head. But Clayster came up to me, and he was drunk, and he was talking all kinds of shit about me. Clayster was really mad at me, and he came up, and he was calling me fucking names and shit. And if you ask Clayster, he'll tell you this is true. This happened in front of a lot of people in a full bar. He was mad at me. He was drunk. He was calling me a bunch of names. I didn't hit Clayster. I didn't fucking knock him out for him running his mouth. I just laughed it off and walked away. Okay? Now, the very next event that we go to, I end up in an elevator with a drunk Clayster. Okay? And Clayster was calling me a faggot to my face in the elevator, okay? He was saying some things to me, so I headbutted Clayster, okay? And it wasn't like a knockout headbutt, all right? It was just a little tap, like, stop running your fucking mouth, all right? You need to, because, again, Clayster did this at this event before, and I didn't do anything to him. I just let him run his mouth, right? And I walked away because, well, Clayster's like 21, right? Clayster's like a young kid. You know, he's fucking drunk. It's not his fault, right? He's drunk. He's mad at me because of I reporting some stuff on him on Drumler. I get it, right? I didn't do anything to him. I let him run his mouth. I just kind of like laughed it off and walked away, okay? But when it happens again at another event and he's like right next to me and I can't walk away because I'm in an elevator, I needed to just shut Clayster up and let him know that you can't just fucking do that. You can't tell people to suck your dick and that they're a faggot right next to him. So I just headbutted Clayster like a real, it wasn't like a super like it wasn't like UFC fucking knockout headbutt. It was just a little like stop, right? And Clayster stopped. And after the headbutt incident between me and Clayster have been really cool. We talk to each other at every event. We're really cool with each other, and that was pretty much the end of it. Clayster more understands what I do, and, you know, I try to be a little bit more respectful when I cover him in Drama Alert. But you got to understand that Clayster, we found the guy. This guy will support what happened. I know this because he literally told me exactly that this was an accident. Okay? But that's the whole thing with Clayster. Me and Clayster are cool. The headbutt wasn't like a knockout headbutt. It was just like a little tap, like stop, dude. You're literally calling me faggot and telling me to suck your dick and shit. Like, you can't do that. Like, there's man laws here. Like, you're going to get hit. Ever since then, me and him have been really incredibly cool. Okay? So again, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about what I just showed you with Pittsburgh and Clayster. These are two incidents that I had at gaming events. Two.
But yeah, I figured he threw the drink Connor. So the next morning, I called up Jeff and all the other people at UMG asking to have him banned. Not because of any other reason besides this is like the 10th incident. The 10th.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's two incidents that I just told you about. Okay? And this dude says 10. Add another fucking 1 to the lie count.
At these lands. You guys have seen from a video I previously made, and he admitted to himself, he got into a fight with another team owner. He headbutted Clayster, a pro player, and without blowing his shit up and without trying to put a whole bunch more drama on there, just trust me in the fact that he's had numerous incidents of either
Wait, just trust you? There's literally only 2. There's only fucking 2. There's 2 incidences, and this dude just says 10. It's fucking 2. It's 2, and everybody knows about it.
You know, altercations happening or basically questionable behavior for someone of his age to come do at an event full of...
Wait, my age? Dude, bro. I think this dude is older than me. How old is Kossoff? Does anyone know how old this dude is? 1 + 1 = 10. 1 + 1 = 10. All right. So this dude's like 30, right? I'm 33. I'm 3 years older than this dude.
16-year-olds. So basically...
And he's wait. Hold up.
A bunch more drama on there. Just trust me in the fact that he's had numerous incidents of either physical, you know, altercations happening or basically questionable behavior for someone of his age to come do at an event full of 16-year-olds.
Okay, so the event is full of 16-year-olds.
So basically I asked him to have him banned for those reasons, that, you know, maybe it was either that or just banned for the day because I didn't want something to happen at the event. At this point, I'd completely kept off Twitter. I didn't want it to hit Twitter. I'm there for the team. I'm there to support my teammates, and that's what I want my Twitter to reflect during these events. And all I really wanted to do was avoid an altercation. Now, obviously, he didn't get banned from UMG. And I was told that, you know, that they weren't going to ban him because what had happened was happened at the hotel and not their venue, which is really kind of a dumb line being crossed, because MLG has banned plenty of people from their events from stuff that happened at the hotel.
MLG has never banned me. In fact, MLG always hits me up and asks me if I'm coming to their events. They actually love me to come to all MLG events because I go there, I hype up the crowd, I'm very nice, I'm interactive with all the people who are there. I'm just a fucking cool, chill person to be at events. And especially, like, if you've ever been to an event that I've been there, you'll notice, like, we'll get into banter, we'll bet on games. We have a fucking good time at these events. These two altercations are the only altercations I had. And again, Keemstar has never fought anyone. The only thing that I ever did as far as physical contact towards someone was a little light headbutt towards Clayster, and that's because Clayster was harassing me. And there was, and, you know, it is what it is. This dude was coming up to me talking shit. All right. Me throwing the guy on the ground was just, I mean, he swung at me. I know I pushed him first, but again, he stole from me. This is not things that I'm starting. I'm not out there looking for a fight. I'm not starting shit with anyone. You know, shit happens, people start shit with me, and I defend myself, okay? And that's it. I'm not out looking for trouble. I'm there to have fun, man. I'm there to see my fans. He stole toothpaste. We'll just leave it at that.
After hours, after their event was closed and not in the venue, but, you know, to each his own. Those are UMG's rules. I imagine them, it being an open tournament, banning people from their event for stuff that happens in the hotel would probably end up with a lot less people entering their tournaments because, you know, kids they're open, so everybody comes out to these things, all the teams, all the Call of Duty players, and quite a lot of stuff always happens at UMG. You would never know that from my Twitter or my videos because I don't talk about all that stuff because, you know, I'm, like I said, I'm there hanging out with TK and not really involved in all the little kids and all the trouble they get into at these events. I'll go outside and chat up, but for that's the most part, I get involved in it. So, you know, I knew he wasn't banned, you know, and he knew obviously I was upset because Jeff told him that I was the one that was trying to have him banned, and he obviously had figured it out by then that it got back to me that he had spilled a drink on Parker. So basically, I went downstairs to the event.
Now let me explain something to you. The last event, this guy right here on your screen had a confrontation, again, this is UMG Cali, with a person known as Life in a Tent, Bryant Martin, Futuristic Hub. He had an altercation with Futuristic Hub. That's one altercation. The event that just happened, you had an altercation with me, Kossoff. That's two altercations that he's been involved in. I mean, that's just facts. That's just facts. He's had two altercations at events. All right? So, okay, bro. And guys, in this case, and only in this case, 1 + 1 actually equals 2, not 10.
And Parker was standing upstairs because she took a little bit longer to get ready, and it was pretty early in the morning. So basically, I enter the event, and sure enough, Keemstar is right at the door. Yelling, "Yo, Cos!"
I was not at the door. I was standing at the Smite fucking stand. One on the list. Add another one. Add a fucking another one. Was not at the goddamn door.
"Come here, Cos, come here, blah, blah, I want to talk to you," things like that. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck off, Keem. Don't want to talk to you. Don't want to have anything to do with you.
He didn't say any of that. This is what he said. He said, "Get out! Get out of my event! Get out of my event! Get out of my event!" That is what he said. That is what he said. Add another lie to the motherfucking lie counting list. He literally acted like he was like it was his event. And we all looked at each other like, what?
And I just kept walking into the event. At this point, he pursued me, walking behind me, Cos, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and we got a good, all the way into the event. If you guys have seen, there is like an 11-second video of us screaming at each other, and it's really stupid, but it is out there.
Wait. Us screaming at each other. Us screaming at each other. Us screaming at each other. Us screaming at each other.
Seriously, get the fuck out of here! No, I don't give a fuck what you're saying! Get the fuck out of here, talk to me later! I apologize to her and offered to buy her a drink. Come on. It was an accident.
Us screaming at each other. Who's screaming? Who's screaming? Has anybody seen the 10-second video where we're screaming at each other? Where us are screaming at each other? There's only one person fucking screaming. There's only one person fucking screaming. Like, this dude is a fucking psychopath.
And it was at the very end of our little 20-second altercation. But basically, he followed me all the way into the event, and at one point, I guess I saw red. I'm sorry. Like, if you're a man, and even by accident someone pours a drink on your girl, I doubt you'd be able to handle it like I did, which was, just calmly, no physical altercation. I didn't go...
Calmly, no physical altercation. He handled it calmly with no physical altercation. If you call, "Get out of my event! Get out of here! Get out of here!" If you call that fucking calm,
run and look for him to beat his ass. Especially because, let's face it, Keemstar poured a drink on my girl. What's the chances that literally the one person at thousands at this event that I know dislikes me happens to pour a drink on my girl?
And I will give him that, dude. Listen. I get it, all right? And I think almost anybody can get it. If you are him, you got to think that this is on purpose, all right? You got to think that it's... And I get it. I get it. If I was him and the same thing happened to my girl, all right, and he did it to my girl, and I was told that it was on purpose, I got to give him this. I would have believed that it was on purpose. I would have. So I do give him credit, you know, that he really thought that it was on purpose, because I would have thought it was on purpose if he did it.
Even given that, I was just like, fuck it, you know, I don't want drama. I don't want any of this shit. So I was just trying to avoid him. But yeah, I obviously saw red. I obviously flipped. And I turned around and screamed at him, get the fuck out of here. Like, leave me the fuck alone. And to the point where he kept on moving forward and, you know, saying what he was saying. You know, it was an accident, blah, blah, blah. I offered to buy her a drink, all this shit, which obviously me or her doesn't matter at all. So I just kept pushing him back, like, hey, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. I don't want fucking anything to do with you. I never swung on him. I'm very surprised to hear he said that, but because there was nothing beyond some light shoving that happened. I did swing my hand up like this.
No, you went like this, buddy. You didn't go like that. You went like this. The only reason why your hand went up at all is because I fucking batted it away.
To knock his hat off, to just, you know, get the fuck away from me. And his hat like came like halfway off to expose like half of his bald head. And like his glasses went off onto the ground, and then literally at that point is when the video you saw picked up. Where I was right around 11 seconds, where you saw me like doing this hand motion, like shut the fuck up, I don't care what you're saying, go away. That's when we were escorted out by security, not by security, by Chris, one of the owners and basically the event manager of UMG. No security, no cops ever got involved. We were never banned. Neither one of us was ever banned from UMG. We were told to leave to go cool down, which is.
That is not true. He was told to leave to go fucking cool down. They knew that I was calm and collective, and Chris told me to go back into the event. So that's another lie. And here's another part that he's forgetting to tell everybody. When he walked out of the place, he threw the fucking pole on the ground. Wah! Get out of my event! Wah! How come we're not hearing about the pole you flew on the ground?
Exactly what happened. I left, he left. He did pursue me even more into the hall trying to talk.
I pursued him in the hall because Chris was walking me that way. One guy was walking him and Chris was walking me out. Chris was telling me to go this way. Because what they originally thought is they thought that they were going to put me and him outside so we could talk to each other. So that's why I kept following him in the hallway. UMG Chris was standing right next to me. Like, the plan at that time in everyone's mind is we're going to go outside and we're going to talk about this. Okay? But then Kossoff flew the fucking pole down on the ground and went, "Wah!" And then fucking as Kossoff's going up the escalator, he's like, I don't care. Blah! And I'm just saying, bro, it was a fucking accident. Okay? That's when Chris decided that it would be best if I just went back into the event. So, again, more lies.
To me, the whole time I'm screaming, fuck off, which is really funny. He literally pursued me all the way into the event and then all the way up the stairs. Because obviously he's there for his drama stuff and he's trying to provoke any kind of reactions, just trying to, and that's who he is. He's an attention seeker.
Okay, me going up and telling him that it was an accident is me trying to provoke a reaction. Bitch, if I was trying to provoke an action, I would have said, guess who got your girl wet last night? Woohoo! Woohoo! That's provoking a reaction. Me coming up to you, motherfucker, and saying, dude, it was an accident. It was an accident. I said I was sorry. I offered to buy her a drink. That's not me provoking a reaction, motherfucker. That's me trying to squash the situation. I mean, literally, you're supposed to be a fucking troll and you don't know what this is? Like, you're supposed to be this YouTube troll, right? You're supposed to be like so much me, right? You're supposed to be so much better, but you don't even know how to get a reaction. You don't even know what that's. This is funny. And again, I don't mean any disrespect to his girlfriend at all. All right? Like, again, I can't stress this enough. Parker, I don't think has a mean. and I would never do anything to her to get at him. I just wouldn't. Okay? If I have a problem with somebody, you guys know me, I'm not afraid to speak up, say my mind, and talk to that person directly. I'm just not. I never have been.
He's a drama starter. That is who Keem is. But if you get past Keem's little fucking, Keemstar thing, he'd probably say the same thing. That's what he does. Is he has no, basically, regard for his own perception. It's just out there to a hotel, a good 100, 200 yards away from the event. He was still following me and trying to talk to me.
No, I wasn't. Okay? That is a fucking lie. Add that to the lie counter. Okay? Let me explain this layout. Okay? Counter. Okay? Let me explain this layout. Okay? I'm going to use my phone as an example. Okay? Let's say that my camera, okay, is the exit. Okay? And of the event, okay? And let's say the end is outside the building, okay? We went through the hall, right, where he knocked down one of those poles. I went another 2 steps, 3 steps. Actually, I probably went another 20 feet, okay? When we ran into Hex, who was on his Segway, all right? And then I stopped because fucking Chris told me to stop, right? He put his hand out. He said, just stop. And then this motherfucker kept going, all right? And he was right about, I'd say about this far away from me going up the escalator, okay? So at this point right here, he's gone, okay? This dude's talking about 200 yards? 200 yards? That's 2 football fields. That's 2 fucking football fields. He said I followed him 2 football fields? You could still see the fucking door where I was standing into the event. It couldn't have been farther than 10 yards. It couldn't have been farther than 10 yards.
Basically, I just wanted nothing to do with him because, I honestly, if I talked to him at that point, I was going to fight him. And at that point, I'm obviously just trying to stay away from him because I know myself, if someone pours a drink on my girlfriend, I want to beat your ass. And I want to do more than beat your ass. I want to fucking actually hurt you. And I knew, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want that to be something that got talked about. It didn't need to happen in an event. That's not what I was there for. And I summoned every bit of professionalism and adult, whatever you want to call it, maturity to try to deal with that. And that was my way to deal with it, just to not talk to him. And that actually ended up happening. Now, a whole bunch of stuff came out afterwards that I swung on him, and then we both got banned, and there was all this beef. No, literally after that, he got told by UMG and their staff to leave me alone. And obviously, the only reason why it even...
Let me remind everybody that UMG suggested that I talk to him, okay? UMG told me that he's upset. UMG told me that he's threatening that TK is never going to come to an event. UMG told me that they told him that they're not going to kick me. UMG told me he thinks it's on purpose. If it's an accident, you should probably tell him. Okay? And that's why I contacted him. That's why I tried to talk to him. All right? Now, the whole idea where UMG came in and said, you better leave Kossoff alone, did not happen, okay? After we were talking outside to UMG staff, and UMG staff said that they were going to kick him out, and I asked them not to, okay? When I asked them not to kick this dude out, all right? They said, just try to keep your distance from him. But again, from his words, Keemstar was told to leave me alone.
Just stuff came out afterwards that I swung on him, and then we both got banned, and there was all this beef. No, literally after that, he got told by UMG and their staff to leave me alone. And obviously, the only reason why I'd even come back into that venue that day and that morning, because obviously I knew it was pretty heated, that going down there I was going to be walking into an altercation most likely, and that's why I tried to have him banned, is I went down there to watch my team. And I almost missed the game because of that, because I had to go up to my hotel room, you know, breathe in and out, calm down. And of course, like right as I got up there, I got a call from Mike Martin, who was there standing with UMG Jeff, you know, the owner of UMG, saying, go ahead, you're not banned, you can come back down, but obviously we can't have anything physical happen at our events. Of course, that's a given. So I came back down and watched my team, and that was it. You know, that was literally the end of it. Now, of course, it went on Twitter for the whole day and most of the next day. I think I had like 3 responses total, or 4 or 5 responses total, compared to literally the thousands of tweets I got saying, you fought Keemstar, you know, you did this, it was an accident, he poured his drink on you, or your girl, and all these other things, and I just try to stay out of it. You know, after we had lost on Sunday, we didn't even stay at the event. We went to my friend's house. I went to law school, like 3 hours away from Dallas, so a lot of my law school friends still live in Dallas, and we went over to one of their houses and hung out and had a really nice time, a really great night for our last night in UMG Dallas. But for the most part, like, I saw him like 3 or 4 times after that. We just went our separate ways, and that was just it. So really, the only reason why I'm making this video is to say, you know, there's a lot of people saying that I overreacted and things like that, when, you know, I didn't even react. I literally didn't tweet. I literally just tried to ignore him after he had spilled his drink on my girlfriend, accident or not. At that point, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to not have to talk to him. And I don't care, and this is not what I don't want to see him, like if I see you in the room, I'm gonna flip out. No, I didn't want to physically talk to him or be near him, and wouldn't have. This whole thing wouldn't have happened had he not pursued me relentlessly over and over and over again.
Dude, okay, are we forgetting this? You tried to get me kicked from the event because you said I purposely poured a drink on your girlfriend. Like, you told them, you told UMG that I purposely spilled a drink on your girlfriend, and you tried to get me kicked. And somehow I'm to blame to try to contact you and let you know that's an accident?
To talk to me after it happened, because, you know, honestly, I didn't want to hear his side of the story. Accident or not, you poured a drink on my girlfriend, and it ruined her night, and you're an asshole. So I'm naturally going to think you did it on purpose. But either way, it didn't matter. I didn't want to talk to him. But, you know, that's exactly what happened, and that's all that happened. So, no, I didn't overreact, I don't think. I overreacted to him following me, and I turned around and kind of screamed at him. But, fuck, on the scale of what I would think you or your dad, if you're a guy, you know, I'm obviously not talking to, even a chick, a guy, what if someone pours a drink on your dude, you know, Bae's not going to take that too well. You know, no one's going to take that too well. Had that happened in a bar and not an event, dude, there'd have been a fight right away or some shit like that. You pour your drink on a girl,
okay, now we're back to poured. Now we're back to poured.
Or not, anywhere, the dude's going to come up and say,
accident or not. Again, accident or not.
Say something to you. And you better be damn sure, you know, that you can either take him or you can be really apologetic.
Listen, I've been to a bar many a times. I've had drinks spilled on me many of times. Drinks get spilled while drinking, okay? If you've never been to a bar in your whole entire life, I guess you might be able to figure out this whole idea that if a drink gets spilled on someone, you know, they're going to fight to the death. I guess you might have that fucking idea. But listen, dude, for those of you that are 21 and older and that have been out drinking, all right, drinks getting spilled is pretty fucking common. One in the chat, if drinks getting spilled at a bar or at a place where there are drinks is common. It is a fucking common goddamn thing. All right? It's just common. And you know it. And you fucking know it. And here's the thing, dude. I think here's the thing that we're all forgetting, right? If I did this shit on purpose, I would fucking say that I did it on purpose. You can't say in one breath that Keemstar doesn't care about his image. And he does say it in that video. Keemstar doesn't care how he's perceived. But then the next fucking breath say that I'm lying that it was an accident. If I don't care how I'm perceived, then I'm going to fucking own it. I'm going to tell everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I spilled the fucking drink on her because I don't care how I'm perceived. I'm not fucking scared. Okay? Because I really am not care. I honestly do not care how I'm perceived. He's right. But in this case, it was a goddamn accident.
Like either way, you gotta diffuse the situation. My way of diffusing it was just to ignore it, act like it didn't happen, and go about my business. But as much as I tried, that didn't work for obvious reasons. But that was what I wanted to come out and say with this video. I'm not trying to talk shit on Keem. I'm not trying to say what happened wasn't an accident, even though everyone I talked to told me it wasn't an accident. These are people that aren't drama stars. These are people that are in the industry that knows me as Justin. I'm the owner of Team Caliber. Half of them don't even know I have a YouTube channel. Don't even know.
Well, the one dude works at Scuff, and you have a deal with Scuff. So, I don't have a deal with Scuff. So, that's one thing. The other guy works for Call of Duty and takes pictures. So,
who Keemstar is. And that was the thing with Jeff too, is he probably would have got banned if he had known about all these other things, but he didn't even know what Keemstar looked like, which is really surprising. But sure enough, when I told him who he was and what had happened, he was like, yeah, no problem, he's banned. Just come down to the event and point him out because I don't know what he looks like. So I was like, okay, no big deal. But of course, word had gotten down, and Keemstar went and talked to him, said it was an accident. He apologized, said it would never happen again.
That is not true. That is just fucking not true. That is literally not true. What the fuck did he just say there?
Knows me as Justin. I'm the owner of Team Caliber. Half of them don't even know I have a YouTube channel. Don't even know who Keemstar is. And that was the thing with Jeff too, is he probably would have got banned if he had known about all these other things, but he didn't even know what Keemstar looked like, which is really surprising. But sure enough, when I told him who he was and what had happened, he was like, yeah, no problem, he's banned. Just come down to the event and point him out because I don't know what he looks like. So I was like, okay, no big deal. But of course, word had gotten down, and Keemstar went and talked to him, said it was an accident. He apologized, said it would never happen.
That's not what I'm hearing. That is literally not what I'm hearing.
And again, so Jeff, being a really good guy, let him stay at the event. And that's just pretty much what happened. But I didn't swing on him. He didn't block.
Okay, Jeff literally told me. Word for word, these words that I'm about to tell you. Here's my thing. I understand that he's upset, all right? I get that he's upset and why he's upset because his girlfriend and everything. He threatened that TK would never come to another UMG event. But here's the thing. I don't control anything that happens out that door. And we told him that we're not going to ban Keemstar. That's literally what fucking Jeff told me. That's literally what he fucking told me. Word for fucking word. Now this dude says that I'm going to get pointed out and kicked out?
Block one of my punches. No, we never actually touched. His hands never touched me at all.
Okay. I did touch you because when you were pushing me, I grabbed your little wrist and I was holding him so you couldn't move him. And then when I let you go, you got a little happy that you were free again. You just got a little confidence and you decided to have one of these little haymaker swings that got batted away. Lies.
Pushed him a few times. And if you're watching this, Keem, I apologize. But dude, if it was you and someone poured a drink on your daughter or your ex-wife, I imagine you handling it quite differently.
I'm not married. I don't have an ex-wife. I've never been fucking married. Add another lie to the goddamn list.
I don't imagine you handling it anywhere near as calmly as I did.
Okay. Accidents happen. Drinks spilled. Drinks get spilled. There's literally a quote. There's a quote that this motherfucker needs to have in his bio. Like when this dude dies one day, hopefully when it's old, I'm not saying that he should kill himself or anything like that. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just saying, we all die. Eventually when Kosov dies, it should literally say on this motherfucker's grave, do not cry over spilled milk. We're going to be right back.